Hey guys, Myles here at Tactical Hyve. In a previous video, I talked about the importance of concealed carriers to know how to draw their gun from concealment with one arm only, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what situation you'll be in and whether or not you're going to have to use this arm for something. Maybe fend someone off, push someone away while you're drawing. Now I want to cover just a little tip that you can use when you're actually shooting with one arm. So we're not going to cover everything to shoot with one arm, but I want to share a quick tip with you guys that has really helped me manage recoil, and I think it'll really help you. So when people are shooting, they typically will extend their arm out, okay, here, just I'm not going to even talk about the stance or anything like that, right? But typically speaking, they might have a slight bend in their elbow. So if you understand recoil is a rearward force motion, right? After the bullet goes this way, rearward motion is recoil happens this way. So what will happen is, if I have a slight bend, particularly when shooting with one arm, when shooting with two arms, a slight bend is a good thing. When shooting with one arm, it might be a bad thing, right? And what happens is typically when I shoot with one arm, there is going to be give in my elbow, and what that does is when recoil happens, my sights and my gun are going to take a little bit longer to get back on target. Okay. Now, I learned this from Army Marksmanship Unit and 3-gun champion Joel Turner, where he taught me that it's a good idea to actually lock the arm out. Different from locking your arm out with two arms, here I'm going to lock it because now I only have one arm, and I'm going to have a forward center of gravity here. Notice how I'm actually bending forward here. And when I do this, the recoil is going to be much less. So what you'll see is there's going to be less of a bend in my elbow. That force is going to be absorbed by my body, and because I have a forward center of gravity, I'm going to balance out that recoil better. And what's going to happen, the result will be my sights and my gun will be on target faster, so I can shoot faster. Okay, so let me show you how each one of them looks. All right, so let me demonstrate both methods here. For the first one, I'm going to already draw, okay, just so you can focus on my arm here and what's happening in the recoil pattern here. So now I'm in a straight stance here. I have a slight bend and a little bit of a forward center of gravity, but I have a slight bend in my arm here. Now take a look here at what happens. Gun goes up, there's a slight bend in my elbow, okay? And it takes a little bit longer for my sights to go down. Yes, they will go down, no worries about that. It will go back on target, but it might be slower than the other method, which we're going to see here. So take a look here. Again, I have a slight bend. I don't really have that much forward center of gravity here. Okay. That one really went up. The second shot went really up just because I didn't have a good wrist tension there. But you can see, if you're focusing also on the elbow here, that it's going up just a little bit. I'm going to take two shots here. See that? Okay. Now, I'm going to have a locked out arm, right? And I'm going to actually have more of my weight forward here, forward center of gravity. Now, take a look at the difference here. My sights go back much quicker, and there's less of a rearward motion here and less of a bend in my arm. What does that mean? I can take shots faster because my sights are on target. So I hope that helps you guys out when you're shooting with one arm. It's going to allow you to shoot much faster. Why? Again, because your sights are going to be on target faster. So it's a simple tip here. All you're doing is you're going to lock out your arm and put your weight a little bit more forward, and you should be able to shoot much faster. Hope you guys like it. If you do, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you in the next video.